Hello, Nadine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 11 of Key Chats. That's Kahleigh, Emily, and you. Today's guests go, boo.
So we have a guest today, and I am so excited for our guest. She goes by many names: Tech Valor, Catwoman, Miji, Megalina, so many things. So she's with us today. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for inviting me.
What's kind of cool. Yeah, so glad to have you. So it's pretty cool as we all met at work, but I feel like we haven't actually met in person, Miji, but cool. And I wouldn't be doing this podcast without Miji because she invited me to be a guest on her podcast, and then that launched me into this like creator community of YouTube folk. And it's fun. So
I'm excited. I've been watching
today.
Yeah, I've been watching Key Chat since like it first came out, and then you like first told me about it, and I've just been like a loyal listener. So I'm like really, really excited to be here. But yeah, I remember when I told you about gadget chats, and then you came over and you were in the audience on Facebook, and you were just saying some things that we were pulling up your comments. And most of our audiences in YouTube, and everybody's like, "Who's that girl? She's really smart. You should bring her on." And they were like, "Okay, cool." So, Gadget Goddess Gigi Kimmy, who also goes by many names, she's the co-host of Gadget Chats, and she was like, "Yeah, let's go ahead and bring her on. Like, she doesn't have a platform, like she's not like a typical influencer, but let's just like bring her on anyway. It doesn't matter." And she's just been coming ever since. It's been awesome.
I've watched a few times.
By saying that I'm not a typical influencer, that makes it sound like I am an influencer, which makes me feel a lot cooler.
Like a trailblazer.
I probably.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've had many interactions with Kahleigh. We worked in the same department together. And then we work closely. We work closely, but we're in different departments.
Yep.
So I'm excited. Thank you guys for thinking of me.
I know, I'm glad you're here. I feel like you're the professional, and we're just kind of like influence us on how to do this continuously.
I'm really good at
by osmosis. We will get better.
Yeah, that's the trick. You got to fake being professional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I meant to do that.
It's a learning experience.
Totally
yeah. You guys are doing great so far. I'm really
thank you.
Yeah, I've been loving a lot of the guests that you guys have been bringing on.
Yes.
And then sometimes you guys are together and sometimes you guys are apart.
Yep.
But thank you for allowing me to be the why in the key today.
Yay.
Yes, we're so excited that you're here, and I've always we've both really appreciated your engagement and your constant support through all of this, and also some of your tech support behind the scenes of like, how do we do this?
Yeah, because we can't Google it.
Because Google doesn't exist.
No, so. We need personal experience.
But plug for Tech Valor. You can hire her to help you with your content. And so give her your money because she's great. That's my pitch.
Yes. Pay her.
That sounds very aggressive.
Can you tell I do sales?
Yes.
Give her your money. She does amazing YouTube intros. You can tell us what you do.
Okay. So basically I make So if you go to techvalor.net, you can hire me to create digital pieces for your brand. So whether it's animating your logo, I don't actually make the logos. So many people ask me, I don't know how to make logos, but I'll take what you already have and make it look fancy.
Mm.
So I do intros, outros. I help set up things for like your stream. So when people before they go live, they have like a countdown.
Me, G. Okay, wait. I need someone like that. So I'm so happy that you're saying this because I see, like, I watch Twitch and I do stream sometimes,
Yeah.
but I watch other like streamers and I'm like, man, they look so professional, so cool, like all this
Yeah.
extra stuff they have. And literally, when I do it, it's just like me and the game. So it's like so boring. Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to take a pause and just say, like, I'm real happy that you exist right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can help you out with that. I've
Yes.
been streaming for 4 years, almost 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I wasn't streaming by myself though.
Mm.
So I was contacted by Easy Computer Solutions. He just sent me an email on my birthday. And
Oh,
I
I
was like,
watched him.
yeah, he's great. And he was like, hey, do you want to come on? We're just gonna have, women come talk about technology and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. So I came on and I was addicted. Like, and he liked me, so he allowed me to come back. So,
That'll do it.
so I've had a lot of experiences.
I love that. And he's such a great like promoter in the
Yes.
tech YouTube community.
Yes. Yeah, he's like our tech papa. He's great. And then just recently I've been streaming on my own, which is another challenge, right?
Mm.
Like when you stream with others, you kind of like find a groove with them. You try not to over talk them, or you try not to talk so less that people are like, why is that person even there, right? So you have to try to be accommodating but also entertaining. When you're streaming by yourself, that is another challenge because you are looking at the chat, right, to see what people are saying, but at the same time you don't want to put too much dead air, so when people are watching the replay, they're not like, this person is just staring blankly into the sky, and it took them forever to just read one comment. So there's like a bunch of elements to it, but I like learning new stuff, especially when it comes to live streaming. And just like you guys, I use StreamYard. So when I do go live, I do go live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter all at the same time. So I don't have the fancy, Twitch streamer outline, how it originally, like how they usually typically look like, but it is something that I do know how to do, so I could definitely help you out with that.
Nice. Well, what do you stream now? I'm wondering because I don't even like. Is it just like the podcast stuff, or is it like?
So Gadget Chats has taken a hiatus. So last Thursday was the last episode of the season. We had Tech King Mike's wife on there, Alexis, and
I liked her.
Yeah, it was really great.
That episode though of Gadget Chats with Alexis, I felt like it was such a high note to kind of be the season finale.
Yeah.
Because it was just such a fun conversation. And that's part of what I love about Gadget Chats is usually, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Miji, but usually like 3 weeks out of the month is kind of like you have different segments that are very tech focused, and then once a month they have a guest, and they've had all kinds of guests. They've had people like me who are like, there's a tech community on YouTube, that's cool. And then they have like actual tech people, so it's cool because it's also a really welcoming community. So like I never felt like an idiot being around these people and interacting with them. Like very, very gracious community. And it's cool because you and Kimmy, you have such a natural cadence with each other that it felt so natural to have a conversation with you guys. So it just flows really nicely and it feels like you're in the room, whether you're listening to the replay or actively on stream. So that's been fun. And then I've been enjoying your Monday streams that you've been doing lately too. It's such a variety of content.
Yeah. So basically my focus on Monday streams is 3 Mondays out of the week. I show tutorials. So I do live tutorials. Last week I did one on Nightbot, how to make Nightbot nicer, because when you turn on spam protection, it'll use Duke Nukem quotes to tell you that you're like wrong. You know, they're like, "Oh, Tommy, you out." You know, like just mean stuff. I don't know. I don't remember the quotes, but um,
Random.
I've people have complained about it, so I just turned off the spam protection. But then I found out that you can actually make it say whatever you want. It doesn't do it with a string of things, but just like one sentence. So, obviously you'll use it to make them nicer. And it was great because it was interactive. I was changing it on the fly what it was saying. It was like, please don't distract my mommy. And we were like, what? It was great.
And context for those who don't know who Nightbot is, Nightbot is basically a bot that's interacting on chat of a live stream and just monitoring content. Because a lot of like big time people, they'll have people moderators as well, but it's like another way to catch people. But I also like the way that with your Nightbot, you have your Nightbot not just being a spam guardian, but also welcoming people to the chat, reminding them to subscribe. So that way you're not having to use kind of airspace for that. It's just happening in the chat.
Yeah, the Nightbot is very, very versatile. And I like taking things that you probably wouldn't think about using it in that way and then using it in that way. So aside from timers where it'll just like you'll set it to like every 10 minutes it'll put out a link or tell somebody about something. I also use it to say hi to people. And I created basically like a list of random sentences that it can choose from, and it'll say hi to people. Or if you add the Nightbot, it'll say something back to you like trash or like something mean, right? But people love it because they're like, what is Nightbot going to say to me next?
That's funny.
But it's completely free. So that's like, so the barrier of entry is very low. And there are other things that Nightbot can do, like giveaways. And
that's cool.
I'm trying to think about what else can it do. It's a whole bunch of other stuff. But I mean, when I go live, I don't specifically focus on Nightbot. I just try to focus on different types of tutorials that I can do live with people. And I set it for 1 hour because I know people's attention spans are very limited.
Raise his hand.
So I did one where I did a promo about the live stream. So I was like, I used something called InVideo, which is a browser-based web editing program. And I did that for 1 hour. I did a promo about the live stream that everybody was already in. And, people learned about it, learned if it's for them, and if the free version is good enough for them as well. So there's just so many different types of products and things that I use that I like to use my live stream for that so that I can get live feedback. And then obviously I make videos. Those are more like polished type of things. I do a lot of other stuff aside from that. So I help people. So I moderate for a YouTuber. Her name is Emily D. Baker. She's a pop culture
she's
attorney.
great.
Yeah. Did you say I'm a Lady Baker or Emily the Baker?
Emily the Baker.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's funny because all of her social media is actually the Emily D. Baker. Sound like you got the double D's on them.
That's cool. Well, help me.
She's awesome. Her stuff is so good. She's so sharp.
Recently, like breaking down the whole conservatorship thing with Britney Spears. And I always felt like it was kind of sketchy, but it wasn't until I listened to, because she has a podcast. This was before she started going live on YouTube and stuff like that. And I listened to her podcast about it, and my heart broke into like a million pieces.
Yeah, conservatorship it's so dehumanizing in so many ways, and can just add to the cycle of mental health.
It's worse than being a child. Like, the way she's restricted is worse than being a child.
And then still performing is what never really made sense to me. Was like still being okay to perform, but supposedly not okay for much else. I was like, doesn't mix to me, but sure.
Yeah. And she's been making money for her family since she was little.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Part of the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mickey Mouse Club. Back when she had that like deep, crazy, good voice, and before she got all like, I don't tune up here.
The little baby voice.
Yes.
Oh, baby.
Because
Yeah.
that's hot.
That's to know.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It sucks being a machine.
Yeah. But anyways,
Yeah.
that
But I
whole thing
want-
could be another podcast.
Right.
But I-
So go
It's
check out
funny.
Emily's.
It's funny. I don't want to be a machine, but I would love to be an AI.
An
Because-
AI.
Yeah, right. So I
I
would
don't
love to be an. I know, right? Some people
Have
are like,
you
why would
seen-
you want to be technology?
Have you seen the movie AI
Yeah.
with that kid from Sixth Sense? I'm
Yes.
not like I don't think I would want that.
Cried.
I know that's like a very heart-wrenching movie. Emily, have you ever seen it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I remember
AI.
everybody. Yeah.
What's the kid from the Sixth Sense name? You're probably
Haley
better.
Joel Osment?
Yes,
Yeah.
him.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
plays a machine boy, like a robot boy, who's very realistic, and who's adopted. And it's just very, very sad. And you got to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does not sound like something I would enjoy. It's really sad. You should watch it. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
realize I
Cry.
don't look for feelings.
It's
in
like
my
one of those
entertainment.
movies. It's not a happy ending. It's
No.
just like sad.
It's like Pinocchio, but it's a robot. You
Sad.
gotta
I
watch
hate
it.
Pinocchio.
But Jude Law's in it. I love Jude Law.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
like, so
And Ashley
he's,
But, like,
Scott is in it.
he's in
don't you ever,
Gattaca, and that movie was not
Don't
great.
you ever
in
just
my-
like to feel your feelings?
Mm-hmm.
I do that enough in my real life.
No way.
So-
The traumas of adulting.
No. I like went into the kitchen and put Alexa, had her play some Les Miserables musics, and I was like literally sobbing in the kitchen, and my daughter's like, "Why are you doing this?" And I'm like,
Aw.
I just like to feel my feelings.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I mean,
just
I get
wanna
like
cry.
sometimes like you need that catalyst, like the external,
Yeah.
like
It's a release.
sensory
Mhm.
thing to help like really bring out the feelings.
Yep.
I don't like that for myself. I
do.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I kind of have some control issues.
I like to break down all the
And
time.
there was like one time where I was like, I'm going to watch this or I'm going to read this book and then watch this movie so that I can cry. And it was when I came back from the Middle East in college and I read the book. Oh my gosh, it's by John Green. It's the one where everybody's cancer.
Where
Oh
everyone
my gosh.
And you're talking about our sad movie.
Yeah.
but
No,
like,
I'm saying
your
this happened to me
book-
once in my life, and then I cried reading the book. Well, and I had been like
Oh,
really
yeah.
sick like the whole time I'd been in the Middle East. I'm like, this is so sad. And then I came back and heard the movie sucked, so I'm like, guess I'm not gonna see that.
Yeah, the book's always better. But
But especially since I had a kid, I can't watch things that are overly like emotive. I watch a lot of explosion movies and cartoons. That's kind of my thing.
Look, I like to watch comedy, but even in comedies, I cry.
yeah, same.
Like-
I cry about everything.
Yeah, same here.
Yep.
High five.
That's probably
Like,
healthy.
legit.
Like, y'all, I'm not
Is
saying
it?
that my choices are a great one. Like,
No, I don't
the
know.
hormonal releases that you get when crying is a good thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a very good
I-
thing. I choose
I-
very inopportune moments to cry, like in the doctor's office, and they're like,
Yeah.
When someone
like-
asks you how your day is.
Yeah.
and I'm
I
like,
think that's when I started to get emotional. Yeah. After I had my kids, like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
I remember being pregnant and I was watching Maury and I'm just in tears. And I'm like, that baby look just like you. Look just like you and you died. And then they'll be like, you are the father. So I'm like, see, I knew it. And it's like, my sister's looking at
Glory
me
of all
in the
things.
kitchen, like watching me in the kitchen, look at the TV. And I'm
Oh
just
my
like crying. She's like, I'm not going to even ask.
I think every child that you have within your body makes you just more emotional. I will go on Instagram. Like, this sounds so weird, but like Vanessa Bryant, I check her Instagram all the time. Like, I just need to see that she's okay. And then I start sobbing. Same thing with Cameron Boyce from the Disney Channel. I check his mom's Instagram all the time. Like, I need to see that she's doing okay. And I literally will just like start sobbing. And like, no one can understand it. But I'm just like, I just have like this very deep emotional connection with things that I shouldn't. That I'm just like, I need to like have that release to like get all these emotions out. I don't know.
And as a parent, it is every parent's worst fear to lose a child. Like there is nothing worse than that.
What is that chemical called? Oxytocin? The bonding chemical?
I think so. Yeah.
Sounds right.
I feel like it went in me and just like never left. It's like on 10 all the time.
This is why women sniff baby heads. Because it's literally like a drug going off. Your body's really like, oh, that feels nice.
Yeah.
That feels good. Like I still catch myself like sniffing Genevieve's head and I'm like, and I'm like, I look like a serial killer, but I promise I'm not.
Baby heads hit different. There's just something about them that I just need to get a big woof.
And there's just
I know.
I need someone in my life to have a baby.
I know. I do have someone in my life having a baby, so I'm excited. I actually have a few people. All my friends get pregnant. I'm just like, you guys do you.
I don't at all. I am the only one with a child out of like my friends that I actually see. I'm like, guys, let's go.
Although, but then they're like always free.
No, my friends are not always free. Because they like socialize with other people. But we did have a conversation recently of like, oh, when you do have children, Genevieve, hey, you can make money off of them because you will be their babysitter. So, so this will fiscally benefit you. just gotta wait.
True.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, this is seriously the easiest way to make a podcast. So let me explain. First of all, it's free. And when you're starting off doing a new project, you don't really have a lot of funds to start it off with necessarily. So free is always my favorite. Secondly, there's a ton of creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And you can pick it up from one device to another. Having it all being browser-based makes it super user-friendly. Anchor, they also distribute your podcast for you. So that way, people can find your podcast pretty much on any platform that supports podcasts. So Spotify, Apple, Google, and a lot more than that. And so it's really everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So I highly recommend it. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
My
like
daughters,
6,
they're
7
14
years.
and they're like, I mean, I can babysit, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Kids don't listen. And I was like,
hated babysitting.
You know how I feel.
That's my every day.
Yeah. And stuff, I love it. Like when I can make a kid do something because they want to and it aligns with what I want. I'm like, yeah, that's power. Right?
Like turning cleaning into a game.
Right? Yeah.
Or like walking to the car at the pace of not a snail.
Yes.
Yeah. Or being like, I'll go get this drink. I'll give you 10 seconds. Can you do it? 10, 9. And they're like, already on. They're like, hold on. Don't start yet. Like on their way to the fridge.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I wonder who can get dressed faster. Like, should you pick out your outfit or should I pick out your outfit? Because I feel like the outfit that I pick out will be dope AF. I will not use that phrase with her, but you get
say, do you say that to your child?
If I did, I should have a reality show because then I could pay for the therapy that would be needed from the psychological damage of saying dope AF on the reg.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you think it's cringe or something?
Dope AF? No. To my daughter, I probably wouldn't say it. Although she says it to her friends. Yeah. Like to Emma.
No. I say stuff like that to my girls. They're 14.
But they're 14. Yeah, that's different.
But even when they were 14.
Like how young?
Yeah.
I talk the way that I talk to them like all the time.
Well, there's certain things, like certain swears I don't say. I don't like certain things, but I'll be like to my 4-year-old. I keep saying 5 because she's about to be 5. Mm-hmm. But for my 4-year-olds, I'll be like, bruh, what are you thinking? And she's like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I won't be like, oh, you look dope as fuck today. Like, I'm not gonna say that. Right. But
yeah,
like
everybody's bra right now.
Right. Like she'll be like, dude, like just, whatever. But
I'll be like,
we
what
don't
the heckin'? It's really funny to see what the heckin' come out of her mouth.
What the heck?
No, I curse in front of my kids.
Well, that's fine. Do you, boo?
Yeah,
I don't care.
but
I just don't want them to swear for me.
I remember having a conversation with Haley, one of my daughters, and it was like a deep conversation. I was like, okay, I noticed that you've been cursing. You'll kind of like say softly. Why do you like to curse? She goes, because I hear you curse. I was like, fair. She's like, and I like to curse. Okay. All right, you can curse, but only around me, not around other people.
Yeah.
She's still like, she'll still trip up and like probably curse around other people that she's not supposed to.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
My
I
mom told
appreciate
me I
the
could
phrase
swear.
that they're stay-at-home words rather than framing them as bad words.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like words themselves don't hold morality to them. Like a word it's a communicative tool.
It's a
Mhm.
sentence enhancer.
Like that's it. That's all
It's-
that a word is.
It's the
Yeah.
way you use it.
Yeah.
If you're using it
Yeah.
to attack someone, like, okay, yeah, don't curse.
A
that.
word.
Yeah.
It's
But
the
if you
power
just
you
curse
give.
And
for,
I don't
like,
want to get a call
excitement.
from the principal during her
Right.
kindergarten years that she's like cursing out people on the bus. Like,
Yeah, thankfully I
no,
haven't had that call.
that's what I'm more concerned about is like we can't get in trouble, please.
Yeah. But you're doing it right because you're not making it like a sneaky thing. I feel like when you make it like something that's restricted, that's when they want to go out and like use their freedom to like push these
Mhm.
boundaries that they can't push at home. So like you're making it like fine at home, so she's not going to go to school and start dropping the F-bomb. She's like, whatever, I can do that anytime I want. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Like,
so
it's like
whatever.
in Europe how like the drinking age is so much lower and you
Yeah.
have a lot less issues of like teenagers binge drinking and then
Mhm.
dying because they don't want to get in trouble. It's like it's not this like tempting, tantalizing thing of like, ooh, I have to hide it. So it's like, no, like if you get alcohol poisoning, like you really need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Teach them.
And it's also like not that great. Like
no.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
remember
I don't
reading
love
an
being
article.
drunk.
I remember reading an article and it said there is no good age to drink alcohol. And I said, oh well. I was like, I mean, I understand alcohol is poison, right? But like
True.
the uninhibitedness that you get when you drink alcohol, it just feels good, right?
Yeah, that's
as long as you do it in what they call moderation, right?
Yeah.
I haven't had a
Socially,
drink in a long time.
Mm.
But there was a point where I was like, hey, I'm kind of drinking a little too much. Let me stop. You know?
Yeah.
So it's as long as you have that conversation with yourself, it's like you're not doing it to medicate yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
Yeah.
I do it when I want to let loose. It's like something like I can come onto this podcast. I'm not going to be as silly as I want to be unless I have like a drink that just kind of like loosens me up. Like, you know, that little like when you drink wine specifically, I feel like this happens more often. You take a few sips and you start literally feeling it like down to your arms. You'll feel like the tingle. And I'm just like,
well, also
that's
you can
that
like
good
lean
relaxation.
into it. And I feel like there's also like a ritual to it of like, okay, I am taking this moment to do this specific thing so that I can feel this way. And frankly, like you could probably do that with anything of like
a drug.
if you're going to write a letter every day.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm going to write not drugs, but like,
like you're making it sound like a drug. You're like, I'm just going to do this one thing for me to make me feel good.
yeah, ecstasy.
A letter is better. Continue.
or like even I don't know, like I've never really been in the habit of like washing my face at night. I've just I don't know, like I didn't really have acne as a teenager, so it wasn't something that I felt compelled to do. And I immediately feel so much better if I actually do that. And it's probably just because it's half because I'm washing my face and half of like I am taking this moment to intentionally do this thing for myself. And that's kind of how I feel about like sometimes like a drink in the evening after the child has gone to bed and I'm going to read a book or watch a show of like, we're going to take a deep breath and it's okay. We're not going to black out, because
No.
like we're too old for that shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's too old for that shit. Everyone's too young or too old. There is no right age for
I just hate that feeling. Let's just never do it again.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you guys heard of the word libations?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds familiar.
So at first, libation was an offering of liquid to the gods, right?
Yes. Yes.
But then it transformed from that to libations is I'm drinking a libation because I'm a god and I need, And at first it was just like a drink, but then it turned to alcohol to the gods. Then it turned from alcohol to the gods to alcohols to myself because I'm a guy and I'm a drink.
Yes.
So
Cheers to me.
that's exactly what it is when you have a
Here's
drink.
to the
You just-
destruction of my
Yes.
liver. Hey,
It's good to unwind at the end of the day.
I'm just trying to make sure my liver works. That's all.
Yeah.
yes.
Let's just be better in all other areas.
Yeah.
And still have a drink.
To compensate.
Lately, I've in general like been cutting back a lot of my caffeine intake and my alcohol intake, especially with it being so hot. I just like can't. But I can definitely feel a difference in my body because there was a while I'm like I have to have at least 1 cup of coffee every day, and I've like detoxed from coffee.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It was rough, but I feel better. Like I already deal with anxiety, and I was starting to see a direct correlation between like I had coffee an hour ago, and now my anxiety is super high.
Yeah.
So like maybe I should address this.
I'm not ready to make that realization. I just really love coffee.
Yeah.
I miss the taste. Like I had a cappuccino today because it wasn't too bad, but so it's
Isn't
like I have to
cappuccino
be
worse? No, I don't know.
I mean, I usually make
Caffeine.
myself a latte, so or
I'll usually
cold
have like
brew.
3 cups. It's fine.
That's
I'm fine.
fuck.
I used to have 2 Red Bulls. Which is worse? Coffee's
Oh my
better.
Atlanta, you
I
guys
drink black coffee. That's healthy.
Yeah, that's healthier. I don't like the taste of coffee.
No.
So I'm lucky in that aspect. But I get my caffeine in other ways, like energy drinks, right?
Like Red Bulls?
Well, my husband got me on Bang.
No.
That
You
one's
like those
strong.
ones?
It tastes good
It
to
is
me.
strong.
He gets
It's
some
got
really
like
good
the-
flavors. But I had to stop because I wasn't sleeping or I was sleeping at wrong times. And I was having breakdowns, like legit, like does not compute, just dead to the world. So my body was trying to compensate for the fact that I was like pumping myself with all of this caffeine. So I think it's been like 3 weeks now since I've stopped having caffeine. I think I've had it at the most 3 times since then.
Wow. Good for you
That's
guys.
a huge change.
Yeah.
Now,
that's
if
crazy.
only I could work on my addiction to food.
It's hard.
You have all your life. Just kidding.
Do I?
I know we're working big.
Do I?
I know. No, I'm actually working on the same thing right now. I'm like, I have been feeling myself like breathing heavier and like getting exhausted easier. And I'm like, I have a real addiction to like snacks, like devil dogs and like cookies and like sweets and like junk food sweets that you can get in like boxes. It's like I'm addicted to all of it, and it's just so bad.
It's hard. It's
tastes so
hard.
good.
And that's the thing. It's an addiction. Like if you're naming it as that,
it really is an addiction.
It's not easy to break that. Like you have to go through very intentional steps to get out of something like that. Yeah. I know for me, like a lot of my personal journey over the last couple months and year is to kind of reconnect with my body and try to like listen to her. I've been reading and listening to stuff about a lot of embodiment and how to have a conversation with your body, and it has literally been life-changing for me because there's so many messages that we get from society and from different like social conditioning and that have shaped our relationship with food and our relationship with how we see ourselves and how we feel about ourselves. And it's like teasing out some of those are like, what are the messages from the outside versus like, what is my body trying to tell me? Like, am I, so like when I'm tired, I rest.
Mine usually wants donuts.
Yeah. I can't listen to my tongue. My tongue, my tongue is so bad. It just wants sugary, salty, oily.
Spicy. Yep.
No, not spicy.
No, not for you.
No,
I
not
love
spice.
spicy.
Not spice for me.
There's some really good stuff out there too, especially connected with like disordered eating stuff too, because like usually that's comes out of some other issue. So how to kind of name that and deal with it. I've listened to someone that I really, really love. Her name's Jamie Lee Finch. And she wrote a book called oh my gosh, what it's called? You Are Your Own. And she's coming from the perspective of like she was raised extremely evangelical, like very much in purity culture, abusive home context. So really like dissociating from her body. So just being so disconnected. And now she's an embodiment coach, and she gives so much language to how to like cultivate a relationship between you and your body. So to see her like go explain her journey and now like walking other people through that, it's really incredible. I really like her stuff. And it tends to be linked with a lot of like religious trauma, which is not everybody's thing. That is definitely more like
but it's a lot of people's thing.
It's a lot of people's thing. And I think some people can also relate to like if they had a parent that was particularly shaming of them, like that has huge impacts. Yeah. So there can be a lot of crossover of those things, like where the source of some of that shaming comes from. I don't know. Life's hard. Being a person is really, 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 really hard. And that is what I talk about with Genevieve all the freaking time. Being a human is so hard. And we need to give ourselves like a lot more grace and frankly like space to deal with the hard. I think like I don't know, I'm kind of going on a rabbit trail here, so forgive me for my soapbox, but I feel like the gift of the pandemic was time and margins. For how oppressive it was in some ways. It forced everybody to slow down. And what I hate of what I'm seeing right now is a year ago at this time, people were like, I am so grateful for this time to be like with my family. My calendar is not full to the brim. Like I never want to go back to the pace I was. And here we are a year later, and it's the same fucking bullshit that we were in before. And it's like, who do you think like maintains your schedule and maintains your life? It's you. Like you are responsible for that. And it's like you can only be a victim to your circumstances and like the society that you're in for so long. I think the gift of, as fucked up as the pandemic was, like the gift of that was that it gave us an opportunity to see what else life could look like. If we just like slow the fuck down. And like people had to learn how to be by themselves, or they could have learned how to be by themselves, because it's really friggin' hard to be by yourself. And it makes me so sad, honestly. Like I feel so heartbroken to see people going back into this like crazy rat race and like signing their kids up for every
You okay?
With this out of my head. Good.
It's all right.
I feel really passionate about this. I really
It's not like
do.
you fell off the sofa.
Oh my gosh. Nope. Just ripping the headphones out. I want people to love themselves and care for themselves as they would like an infant, basically, because we need that. Like to live healthy and well, like we need space and time, and it's okay to not do everything and to say no and just to like say yes to yourself. And that can look super different than what we're told it looks like. Like a shower is not self-care. That's basic hygiene. I saw someone post that today on Facebook, and I was like, yes, why is having a shower by yourself like the epitome of like, oh yes, I had like 2 minutes by myself, like hey. And it's like, no, like if you don't shower, like that's not great. And like a super red flag. That is like baseline here.
Mhm.
Like we are not in the Elizabethan era. So like I just like we had a chance to recalibrate and like I'm not even an optimist necessarily, but like part of me was like maybe we can like embody the good parts of this into our future. No.
Let's come back better.
Yeah.
And it's like, nope. Gotta catch up, make up for last time. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I don't know if it's becoming 30 or if it was the pandemic, but like I just feel so different now than I've ever felt in my life. Like I'm just understanding myself and all emotions and others and like everything better. And I don't know. I think it's just all this time not being outside with all other people's judgments and, you know, the talk of being in the office, like dramas and gossips and stuff. Like you're just away from all of that. Emily knows I hate my phone. I'm never around my phone. I don't text. So like me being home, I really was just kind of like with my family. That's it. And so I had so much time to just do what I wanted instead of like worrying about anything else. Like I didn't have any plans or like I didn't have to go anywhere, do something like a paint night. Like I don't have to do a paint night. I have to stay home and play video games now. Like this is, you know, the best options for Kahleigh.
Yeah.
That's what I want going forward. All Kahleigh time.
Yeah. We spend so much money for this box we call a home. Like we don't really get a chance to enjoy it, right? And I'm fortunate that I'm in a position right now where I can stay home. You know, my husband is the one that's paying all of the bills. And I know that probably for some people, they're like, well, that's not fair. You should work too. And I do because I am doing Tech Valor full time, but it's not bringing in the kind of money that I used to make. But the fact that my husband believes in me, and he's not like, do more, do more, do more. It's more like, okay, you're doing great. Tech Valor rocks. It's a really good hobby. You got to take care of the house now. All right. Like, you know, and I'm like, okay, yeah, our room is a mess. I need to clean that. And so when you come home, you're not like stepping on a whole bunch of papers. It's not like a hoarder situation.
Well, it's a different division of labors.
Yeah.
It is a different division of labor, but I do have that time to where I'm able to say, okay, I worked on this for 4 hours. I can take a nap. And I had to be honest with myself and be like, 2 hours is not a nap for my body. My body needs a 4-hour nap.
Really? I need like 15 minutes, girl.
I don't know. My body sucks. It does.
No,
it's like rusty. Okay. But I do get my things done. Right. And that's the important part of it. Not only that, but he makes sure that I keep my sanity. Right.
Yeah.
Because I can't talk to my therapist. I'm not on medication like how I was before because we don't have healthcare, right? So I have to find holistic ways to take care of myself. And that is a whole challenge in itself. Like obviously like having the nap, you know, I had me a turkey sandwich today, but I had a bag of broccoli with it. So
I mean, I would have just had the turkey sandwich and
right?
called it a day.
Right?
That sounds like a good meal.
Yeah.
I need to eat, I need to eat this 2-pound broccoli.
I know.
Guys, just do it, you know.
You got that because Mia's making you do that.
Yes.
She got in your head.
Yeah. And the
The
thing
holistic like self-treatment, it feels like so many of those resources aren't very accessible.
Yeah.
So you really have like it takes so much effort to even find those resources and then do all the experimenting to really figure out what works for you and what's helpful for you. And when you're in a position where like in different ways, like you aren't at your best, like either physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever, like it's really hard to have capacity to do that. It is so fucking hard. So I give you like so many props because what you're doing is really like that's so hard. That's so freaking hard.
Especially because I'm task oriented. I'm more like, I see tasks and I just want to complete them. That's the gamification of my life, right? It's that something, okay, let me do it. But then I'll have like this psychotic break from just doing tasks, and I'll be like, what is that? Oh, I'm fixated on it. And I'll just start like searching something so minute. And it's just my body's way of slowing down, but seeming like I'm being productive, right? Like, there's no need for me to go back and watch the lore of Kingdom Hearts, right?
Are you sure though?
I know. I was gonna say, are you sure? There's no need.
I know what happens, right? But for some reason, I gotta go revisit it, right? And so I'm stuck there for like 9 hours, and all of the other tasks that I was supposed to do is flying by me. But it's kind of like procrastination is a way of my body telling me to slow down.
You're making me feel better about getting sidetracked basically on every single thing that I do.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that meme? It's like a cartoon or whatever, and it's like when you're cleaning your room and you get distracted by all the cool stuff you find, and it's like a girl with like a Pikachu on her head. I'm like, that's literally me. Like, I'll be
Basically,
doing
we
one
are all
thing.
still children trying to clean our rooms.
How did they make us adults? Who signed us up for this?
I don't know.
We did not consent. We did not consent.
I don't remember right. Next time the kids ask me for dinner, I'm just gonna be like, "You make dinner. I didn't sign up for this."
Like, I don't know. We're basically the same.
Yeah.
So you do.
I can use a
You
microwave.
got hands. I got hands too. That's why you need hands.
Oh man.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Key Chats. This has been part 1 of 2 parts with Miji. Listen, it's real hard when the conversation is going really good to keep it down to our normal time frame. So if you haven't yet, please follow us on Instagram at key_chats. And look for us on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, whatever else you listen to things on. Tune in next week for part 2. Stay safe, stay happy. Bye.